Wake up 52.
What's Kingsbury?
Always on the run, Captain Hook.
gibt's nicht? Was gibt's nicht?
With regard to the astro-theological perspective of intuitively observable celestial phenomena, a spell-binding splinter of the collective unconscious has endured centuries of totalitarian sorcery. As we live through a time where this testable true earth revelation often induces a complete shock to the core, the awakening of the masses seeks a binding agent to connect us all back to the absolute truth about this realm. Step closer into the veil and unleash truly magic properties by accessing realms beyond, not with a billionaire's rocket ship, but with the power that's always existed within you to do so all along. School prisons and money-hungry colleges were never going to tell you anything about this. This book is crucial.
If it ain't one thing, it's another. What's happening, family? I'm over there just like this, like a mug. Anyway, I didn't cuss. Welcome everybody. Ironwork 92,000 in the foundry in full effect. I know it's last second thing, but it's Saturday. I got a little bit of time to give to the team. Couple of updates, couple of things I come across. And I mean, it's Saturday, so many of us might be home. Many of us might be coming from shopping, a little bit of time with the family, or your family might be around in the living room, whatever. So what I'm going to do y'all a favor. Excuse me. Especially since many of our families are around, I'm going to do my best to limit the amount of expletives that I put into today's broadcast. Okay. I feel that I've been doing pretty well. I've been solid in keeping the cussing down to a minimum. All right. I'm going to do it within reason. I know I could get a little bit carried away with it. Today, we're going to work on that, right? We're going to try something. I'm trying to move in a more enlightened path, if that makes any sense. Still, welcome everybody. I'm glad again that you guys could make it here at such short notice. Just a lot of work has been at my feet. So you got work, you've got projects, you've got trips, you've got the app, right? There are a couple of things in the works still as well. Like there's never a dull moment. And I'll kind of discuss some of that. I'm not going to divulge everything. I just don't like to do that. Just give things away and then nothing ends up coming of it. So I want to keep much of it to a minimum. But before we even get to that point, y'all know what I like to do. Y'all know how we do things first. So let me start it off with Lord Racer. Good to see you, brother. Good to see our brother Lord Races here with a new thumbnail. I noticed. Good to see you. Heresy Seed, good to see you, sis. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Wait a minute. I might be wrong. Heresy Seed. No, I'm thinking of Heron Song. My bad. I thought Heron Song, and then I thought a woman. My bad. Excuse me if you're not. I'm not trying to call you a woman. I apologize. Okay, but it's good to see you, Flat Bob. Good to see you, Flat Bob. And unfortunately, no, man. Listen. Okay, let's get one thing straight. Okay, for all you guys that have donated to the hours, much appreciated. For all you guys that haven't donated to the hours and you're looking to donate, I look forward to it. But for whatever we've gotten for the hours, it is very, even if it's 8 cents, it's appreciated. You know what I'm saying? These things are difficult to make and money's tight for everybody, right? So if you can't come up with the funds, it's okay, man. I like your viewership definitely helps. And but if you have come up with the funds, you don't need to make it a recurring thing. If you could, that would be amazing, but you don't have to. I appreciate whatever you guys have given up to this point, but this joke is still going to be made. You know what I'm saying? So anything that you give is going to this app. You will be recognized. And thank you for all you guys that have donated 8 cents to $800. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll talk on the app here in a little bit. We're close. It's good news, but we're close. Flat Bob, thank you. Warrior coming out and playing with us today. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. I got the opportunity to chat with Warrior today. It was a good little thing. We kind of discussed much on what some of the topic is going to be about today. We spoke on that because it's just funny that this topic came up, because this is something that I spoke with Harmon about the other day. It's kind of wild. And for it to come up this way, I'm just like, wow, the synchronicity is off the chain. Anyway, good to see you, Warrior. FE Nation, welcome, Carl. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. The bird is the word. The big bird is in the house. Jay Bird, how you doing, sir? So I'm going on now, so I don't have to step on your toes later on. Good to see you, Jay Bird. Welcome, welcome. Centero is here with us today. Good to see you, sir. Centero is here. Santero, I didn't notice where you are from. Are you from South America like me? Uruguay like me? No? Just let me know in the chat if you are from the same place I am. Because some of you flat earthers are from different places, and this I'm starting to notice. Y'all know who that is, right? Good to see you. Centero, welcome, welcome. Roger, good to see our brother Roger Ledwell is here. Roger, good to see you, man. I've been missing out on your show, but still a pleasure to have you here. Good. Roger's not at work, right? At least he's not at work. That's good. But might be watching the grandkids though, so who knows? Giselle, how you doing, sis? Good to see our beautiful sis Giselle Pelletier is here. Welcome, sis. Welcome, welcome. All right, Nate X, the real Nate X, the original. Good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure. C Lightning, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see our brother C Lightning's here. Nate X, C Lightning. All right, J.R. Hartley. Man, the usual suspects in the foundry. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I like to see y'all here, kicking it, sitting back, maxing, relaxing. That's what's up. Good to see our brother J.R. Hartley is here. All right, scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Hey, RG, good to see our brother RG's here. Good to see you, RG. I caught you a little bit on Vika's show the other day, doing your thing, putting it down. You know, we'll talk on that too. We'll talk on that. But it's good to see our brother RG. I haven't seen you come on though much as of recent. So not trying to get in y'all's business, but you know, like to hear what your thoughts are on some of this new stuff that's been coming out. All right, all right. So we got Harmon. Good to see you, sir. Holding it down on the Rumble side. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. Harmon's holding it down on the Rumble side. That's what I like, man. That's what I like. That's what I like. Good to see you, Harmon. Good to see you. All right. So we're moving and grooving, rolling and scrolling. Anonymous, good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right. Anonymous is here. D-Man is here. Good to see you, D-Man. Hey, Vlad, how you doing? You know, by the way, you were wrong about that. I just looked it up. D-Man, you know I'm just fucking with you. Good to see our brother D-Man is here. Good to see you. Good to see you, D-Man. Welcome, welcome. Hell yeah, D-Man holding it down. That's what I'm talking about. D-Man is here. What else we got? Lord Racer, C Lightning, Giselle, D-Man, Centero, Active Kevin. Welcome, sir. Active Kevin, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure. Jay Bird, Centero, Active Kev. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see, this is gonna be good. Let's see. Yep. See, I'm talking wearing the shirt, Lord Racer. Okay. Serious business. Good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome, Serious Biz. It's been a while. but it's always a pleasure. Lately, I've been a little bit sporadic with how I've been coming on, but I would love for there to be some consistency to when I come on, just to kind of make things a little bit regular for everybody, not just me. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but here soon, I hope to free up my schedule so I can have that privilege in doing that. You know what I'm saying? Good to see y'all. Always a pleasure. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate that, y'all. To me, you are the nicest flat earther I've come across. The rest of you, I don't know. The rest of you, I can do away with. Where I'm from Uruguay. Why does this matter to you? Brian Roy, good to see you, Mr. Roy. Welcome, welcome. B. Roy in the Foundry. King Roy, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. All right. Okay. Now that we're here, we're informed. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Yeah. Mm. So, as of late, there's been a lot that's been going on, a whole lot. And a lot of times when things come to me, I just want to just let it out. But then again, it's like, you know what? I don't want to flood you guys with too much news at one time, or not at one time, but just constantly putting something, putting a post here, putting a post there, putting a post there, putting a post there, putting a post there. And then it's like, you know what? I'd much rather at one time come out and like discuss it with the rest of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it would just be better for me to do that, because then that way I can let it all out, and then I can just kind of let it build, reset, and then do it again. Anyway, it's good to see y'all. So one of the things I wanted to discuss is, of course, we see these things when it comes to the war going on in CENTCOM being the Middle East, or the war, right? To me, this is something that is scripted. Why do I say it's scripted? Strictly because of its blatancy. How much we're being lied to about the war. These things like this helicopter the other day that went down, that they said it was an Apache that got shot down. Listen, for all you Army guys that are out there, you know that Apaches don't go down easy. These are like the tanks of helicopters, the Apache is. So for all you Army guys that are in there, whether you want to Roger up or not, um, you'll understand what it is I'm saying. So off the top, I could tell you that that helicopter story is a fish story. It's a lie, right? But things of that nature, like you see it, it's so obvious that it's a lie. But then you're like, like to me, I'm like, oh, I gotta say something. But then I'm like, you know, I can't. I'm not going to say it right now. I'm just going to hold it, and I'm just going to use it as just fodder for the next time I do come up. JJ, good to see you, sir. Brother JJ's here in the Foundry. Good to see you, JJ. Welcome, welcome. So when I saw that helicopter thing off the top, I was like, okay, I know they're about to just light these dudes up some more. Now, when it comes to this war, this is one thing I want you guys to at least be aware of if you're not already aware of it. Yes, I said that this is scripted. I gave my reason as to why. If you don't know what my reason is, I'll say it again. Because of how blatant the lies are, right? Oh, we're beating them. Oh, we're not beating them. Oh, we're beating them. We need help. Oh, we don't need help. Oh, we killed them, we killed everybody. But then it turns out we start bombing them some more. You know what I'm saying? This is what's true with this war, right? People are dying, people are losing their lives. That much is so. How many Americans have died? I couldn't tell you. I don't know, right? But people are dying, and people will continue to die. That's one. Two, it appears as even though Iran is doing this Lego thing, right? The people may not be complicit with what the government of Iran is doing or what the government of the US is doing. We understand that, right? But at the same time, what we need to realize is that it doesn't matter what the people want. That's obvious. It doesn't matter what it is we want, because unless we're going to show we're going to show them people at the top that we're going to remove them by force, then they're going to keep doing what it is they do, right? And it's not just abroad, but it's also here in the United States that people have become vassals to the states. In other words, slaves to the state. That much is so. And then some. So much so that the people in charge in Iran, even though they're producing these hit pieces with the Legos and stuff, it seems as if they're working in concert with Israel, with the United States government, with pick a leader, right? All these people are in the same camp. Because I look at it like this. If somebody's attacking you, like you really, if somebody's attacking you, you're going to do what you need to do. So if there's a boat out there, right, in the Straits of Hormuz, you're going to light them up. You're going to destroy it. Doesn't matter. You're not going to wait for them to light you up and then wait for them to change. Because in my opinion, evil people are going to remain evil till you slap the shit out of them. That's my first cuss. Excuse me. Cuss number one. And we're like 15 minutes in. So evil people are going to be evil people till you slap them, right? And so this government is going to continue to do what they do. And I know Iran knows that, the Iranian government. So it's as if they're playing along but pretending. Number two, you've had so many our military surface vessels in the Straits of Hormuz, which I do not want to see these dudes get lit up, right? I really don't want that to happen. But it's appearing as if or it's appearing as, since they were there, like, I'd light them up. You've got batteries all along the coast. You've got surface to surface batteries along the coast. You light them up. You don't just sit there and wait for them to enter the Gulf of Oman and then close and around. Like, no, you light them up. But that's not been happening. It is what it is, right? My thing is, I'm looking at the writing on the wall, and then my final conclusion is that the leadership in Iran is complicit with what's going on. There's a tailoring down of this population, and it's starting it's probably been going on for years, especially since the COVID nonsense was of 2020. And here's another thing, and kind of the segue off this topic, but onto the COVID thing, and then the segue back in. Part of their agenda is to limit how you speak and what it is you say. So you see other channels, right? Because they're so worried about the monetization of things that they're afraid to say what the truth is. They're afraid to say, oh, they're going to limit. And the thing is you got to be careful with that, because the more you start limiting your language, because it's the truth, because the cocoa was a lie, right? The COVID shot was a lie, right? All that stuff involved with it was a lie. They're using this to tailor down the masses. When you start limiting things like how you think and how you speak, other actions begin to follow. So the more you start to adapt a way in which you need to start speaking in code, you can forget about it, because now you're self-censoring yourself deliberately instead of living the right way, right? The honest way. And just saying it like it is and telling them to their face that you're pedophiles, you're murderers, and you're satanic. That's it, right? And here's the thing: if these things were lies, then of course you really wouldn't. You'd look stupid. But everybody knows it already. So really, all you have to say at the end of the day is the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't sit there and like mince the truth with these people. That you have to give it to them straight, right? And it needs to be a combined effort. It can't be onesies, twosies, because ultimately what's going to happen is they're going to onesie, twosie everybody into the slaughterhouse, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do. So it needs to be a combined effort, and it needs to be a combined understanding as well. All right, so back to this war, right? And I'm not going to make it about politics or anything else like that, because this whole two-party system nonsense, they're all bought, paid for, and that other nonsense. Well, looks like my parts are done. They're made. So so understanding that this war, like a lot of people are going to go. And another thing, the reason I'm talking about the war in Iran, because really I'm like, whatever, it's of no consequence right now to me or to us. Here's why. If you don't know, the US government is considering integrating the Israeli military with our government. Why is that a problem? It's obvious. But let me bring you to the, I guess what you could say would be ultimately the grand finale of this whole thing. Think about this. Think about all the scenarios that can happen if you integrate a Israeli military within the United States government. Just think. I want you just to think about it, right? Just go free. Don't just no holes barred. Just let your mind go. Just think. You see what this government has done. You see what the Israeli government, the synagogue of Satan, you've seen what they've done already to our government. You've seen what they've done to the world at large, to the world government, to the czar, to this one, to that one, to Africa as a whole, right? You see what these people have done. You see what that nation have done. You've seen what the leadership of nations that is the nation of Israel, the Khazarians, right? The Khazars, the Kohen, all them people. You see what they've done to the world. What do you think in your mind? What do you think they're going to do in the biggest military in the world, the strongest on paper, right? Of course, the strongest military, the most capable military in the world, the most expansive military in the world, the US military, as soon as we integrate that country, Israel, their IDF within our government. I want you to just let your mind go and ask yourself, what could they possibly do in there? Let me give you some scenarios. Let me give you a little bit of fodder, and maybe you can use that as some fuel for your mind. 9/11, the Levon affair, the USS Liberty, hell, probably the Maine, right? Every other war that we've been involved in, World War II, the Holocaust, right? The 6 Day War, the 12 Day War, the Yom Kippur War, you name it. JFK getting assassinated, MLK getting assassinated, Malcolm X getting assassinated, the NAACP being formed. Just think of all the things that can come about once they're publicly integrated. Now, Palkus, you say something that I already agree with. I agree with that. They're already integrated. They're just making it official. Absolutely, I agree with that. I feel that this is something that they're just letting us know that, hey, this has already been a thing. Why would people say, well, if it's a thing, why didn't we do anything about it? Here's the thing. America wouldn't fall for it. But the government understands already. I'm not even, I need to come up with another word for these people because that is not, I guess you could say it is a government. But these people in this position of, I don't know what you call it, they've already had this in play for quite some time. Why? Because you have these people that are spies, right? They're all over the place. These Israeli spies have been everywhere in the government. These people that have been high in office, the Henry Kissingers, right? The Rahm Emanuels, they've been all over the place in the US government. They've been in Alan Greenspan. These people have been in charge of the money being dispersed throughout this government and beyond. They've been in power forever. They've always been in power. Um, and so I want you to understand and basically to take away from what can they possibly do to when are they going to do it or what is it going to look like when they do it, right? Well, um, i- in my opinion, as soon as I heard that now it's official that they're part of our government, I started thinking about our neighborhoods because we already understand, right? we already understand and we already know that this Israeli government goes into our police forces. They grab a few cops, right? They bring them to Israel or whatever it is, whether they bring them to Israel or they come to the United States and they start teaching a lot of our policemen how to quell the population with their tactics, right? So basically the same stuff that they use on the Palestinians, on the actual owners of that land, whatever you want to call that, but the owners of that land, the way they quell them, the way they quell the black people in Israel, this is how they've been teaching our police forces, right? To basically run the same play that they do. It will be that, but at a more of a massive scale. So you need to remember, it's not just going to be the army that's abroad. It's not just going to be the navy that's abroad, space force, the marines, air force. No, it's also going to be the national guard. Why does that pose a problem? I already said it. It's also going to be the national guard. So once they start to integrate the IDF into the national guard, the first group of people that think, hey, look, we need to fucking put neighborhood watch, we need to put armed neighborhood watch in our neighborhoods, they're going to get it to where the National Guard is going to visit your neighborhood. And that National Guard is going to be made up of a grand mix of both Jews, them Israeli people, right? Them and American military. Probably a minimum amount of American military folk, or or a small amount of National Guardsmen that are American, but made up mostly of IDF people. And then you know what's going to happen? They're going to light us the hell up the first chance they get. And then they're going to say, well, who would have thought? Who would have thought that these guys would have attacked us? Because you know how they get down. They lie. These liars are going to say that we did something to incite them into fighting us. I want you to remember that, because this is more than likely what's going to happen. And so ultimately, what that's become is something that I've been predicting for since day one. This is a version of our own troops attacking the American population, because this government already knows that our own troops would have a hard time trying to swallow that pill to attack their own neighbors or to attack other Americans, right? But it would be easy if it's a bunch of Jews from Israel that would come here to kill Americans. If I'm tripping, please tell me I'm tripping. If I'm crazy, tell me that I'm crazy. But listen, I know I'm not tripping, because we've already seen the crazy stuff these last few years, like in concentration already. So my thing is, don't be surprised if you start seeing more of this National Guard stuff, because already, especially during this whole during the COVID thing, right? In New York City, in Chicago, in more of your bigger cities, the government ran basically the litmus test, where they wanted to see how National Guardsmen would be received. That was the test. They want to see how National Guardsmen would be received in DC, in New York City, Chi-Town, everything else. They do that as a test. They do this with regular Americans. Don't be surprised if you start seeing Schwartz, Greenberg, Silverman, Goldberg, all of them people in your neighborhood as National Guardsmen. And they're going to start it in places, and it's going to be easy places that they could pick apart. Baltimore, New York City, Chicago. More so Chicago and New York City, because those places are soft targets, easy targets. Why? Because then people can't defend themselves. Then people can't arm themselves. Now, the reason I'm saying that, even though really all they need to do is send the drone in here, do a quick surveillance, send another drone in here and bomb the hell out of us, and we're screwed, right? They could basically, that's how it is. But if they wanted to do more of a surgical thing, that's how they would do it, right? Of course, they would do things like cut the lights and limit, and then they would basically turn your area into a Faraday's cage, limit reduce the amount of internet that you got to zero, ultimately zero, absolute zero. Cut the lights, now you ain't got no lights, probably cut the water and everything else, and they would do this neighborhood by neighborhood, and after they cleanse that neighborhood, they would turn that neighborhood into a block. They would turn that neighborhood into a an outpost, basically, and then from there they would that would be a node, and then they work from there. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if this is the next approach. I could see it, because if this whole thing with the diseases, the hentai virus, whatever it's called, the henta virus, and the ticks, if that doesn't work as well, they're going to start using these shock troops that are a bunch of Jews out of Israel to do the same thing here in this country, because they already know that our troops don't have the stomach for it. They know that we're not built to kill our, well, I wouldn't say that, because you do have racist people that ain't got no problem going into a black neighborhood and lighting our own people up. So um oh yeah, yeah, yeah. CJ, good to see you, good to see you. um is evil masculine is good? Well, I guess you could say that, but they'll do those things, yes, to kind of to pull the men out of society, or to pull the man attitude out of you. I could see that, right? To pull the fighting spirit out of you, to make you a little bit more feminine. Absolutely, I could see that. To pull the lead, so to speak, out of your pencil. You know what I'm saying? I agree. Mm, I agree. Um, And of course, this has been something that has been a work in progress for years. Godheart Guardian, good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome. Godheart, it's been a while, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Maria, good to see you, sis. My beautiful sister Maria Walker. How you doing, sis? How you doing? The Achenator's in the foundry. Hey, the Achenator, what's happening, bro? Good to see you, big dog. Achenator's here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Even though Palkus came in here, didn't say what's up to you. Palkus, shout out to you. Good to see you, bro. Palkus is always here. It already happened, and people already caught with the U.S. doing Israel's bidding. Yes. Officializing it will make the formal complaints fall flat. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. We're there. We're there already. Really, how the question then is, how do you go against it? Again, my big thing is, and I'm going to go into the rest of what today's episode is going to kind of push your mind into understanding what's going on, right? What do we do from here? The biggest thing you can do, the easiest thing you can do, you just listen. Already, as true earthers, we had to give up some of our ego already. Already we had to drop some of our ego. It was hard, but we're capable of just dropping the ego. You got to talk with your neighbors. You have got to get, you don't even have to make your neighbors that big a priority. However, you have to get to know your neighbors. You have to you got to at least talk with them, help them. If you see you got an old lady out there, help her out, right? An old man over there that's having a hard time with his yard, just help him out, right? Get to know your neighbor. You need to do this with your neighbor. You need to get together with your neighbor. You need to talk with your neighbor. These amendments ain't going to mean shit. These equal rights, Bill of Rights, it's not, listen, I'm just going to tell you, all this stuff that's on paper, they put that on paper to kind of make you feel as if, yeah, you could do this and you could do that. You can't do shit. You can't do shit. Like we really can't. And this is something that we need to understand. Like anything is possible. These people run kangaroo courts, as we've noticed throughout the last few weeks, actually throughout history. They will run a kangaroo court on you and you will always lose. They will run a kangaroo court against you. You won't have the money to support it. And how do I know? Hey, listen, we got a dude out there named Joe Gilberti. Innocent as innocent can be. All he did was find water, and all he wanted to do was give it to everybody. Why is he in jail still, though? But why is he still in jail? He's not part of the script, number one. Number two, who's over there donating to him? Ain't nobody over here putting money in there and stuff like that. Ain't nobody over there trying to help this brother out. We're so wrapped up in our own world that somebody like him, we're just like, I can't do nothing for him. We've given up already. We've given up already, right? And he was trying to do I would say the one of the most bold moves ever, right? But he's fighting a system that's got a well that will never run dry. And they know it. They've got a court system on their side that can never lose. And they know it because they run it. It's their kangaroo court. You can't beat that. You can't beat that system with a vote. You can't beat that system with this. That's not going to work. A couple of things that will work though. Talk to your neighbors, and then you cut them off before they cut you off. And then basically it's a waiting game from that point. Then it's a waiting game. But you got to make sacrifices. There are a lot of sacrifices that must be made, right? The biggest one, it's up here. It's up here, getting over ourselves, getting with our neighbors, dropping our ego, getting with our neighbors, doing things that make us uncomfortable. One of the biggest things that make us uncomfortable is going from the globe to what reality is. That was hard enough. But if we can do that, then we can do the other things. Because to me, that's a big leap. That's a big step in getting to know and understand these other things. But all in all, to say that these people are integrating into our military because part of their agenda is to herd us. Part of their agenda is to mince us up. The racism, the infighting, everything else. Liberty guy off the grid. How you doing, sir? Welcome, welcome, family. Good to see you. Good to see you. Uh, you know, I I I would like to say that they betrayed me, but I would say that it was still a choice, right? That's a good question. So I wanted to see what your perspective on being ex-military. How do you feel about your service? Do you feel that they betrayed you? I would say that yes, it was a betrayal, but in all honesty, I can't really say that strictly because it was a choice, right? I still decided to go forward with what I did for the military, right? So I can't just it's easy to blame. It's easy to blame them. So easy to blame them. But I can't say that because nobody forced me to reenlist. Nobody forced me to enlist. Nobody forced me to not only reenlist, but reenlist like 5 times. You know what I'm saying? I think 5, 6 times. I forgot. I reenlisted a bunch of times. So and then ultimately retire. My retirement, that was the big choice. Um, that was when I was like, I can't do this. I can't do that. That I can't do. That I will not do. Right. And a lot of people were like, well, your retirement is on the line. Like, no, I'm gonna get paid. But if they don't pay me because of my choice, I was born in this world without money in my pocket. Matter of fact, I was born in this world without pockets, right? I was born into this world without money in my pocket. That's the same way I'm going to die. I'm going to leave this world empty pocketed, empty handed, and just giving my soul up to the creator. That's it. God's not going to be asking me, or the Most High is not going to ask me, So you got enough shekels to come up in here? Did you pay your rent before you did this? But without that, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter at that point, right? At least that's how I posit it. All those, this is what has gotten us, right? And so this is why understanding the globe and everything else is so important, because you have to understand you're here and then one day you're gone. This world is slowly digesting you to poop you out. The same way I couldn't be in the military forever. I was either going to die in the military or I retire from the military. Luckily, I was in long enough to retire, right? And I was lucky enough to be like, all right, I'm not doing these things and it's time for me to go. It was a choice, just like those enlistments were a choice. But it was a process. I came in, there was this much military left. I was getting ready to leave. I was getting funneled out, kind of like a poop chute. And then they digested me and then they cut me loose. Adios. Here's your check. Here's your disability. Bye bye. We already have your replacement. You trained him very well. And I'm okay with that. But ultimately, when it comes to things like, did they, I love to say, I like to say that, yes, I feel betrayed. I like to say that. But the military didn't force me to work hard. I worked extremely hard when I was in the military. I worked so hard and I knew I wasn't getting anything extra, right? But I worked my ass off while I was in the military and I didn't get no bonus. They didn't give me none of that. You just got ranked up, right? There were people working a fraction I was doing the most. I was doing a lot for myself, a lot for other people. There were people doing a fraction of what I was doing and getting promoted a lot more. And so that didn't bother me at all. What bothered me was I don't feel that I was getting recognized for how much effort I was putting in. But then I had to take a seat, I had to take a back seat and say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a game and I'm just playing it wrong. And ultimately, that's what it was. And so I was like, it's time for me to just back off and let these guys run it the way they want to run it. But I can't continue to be part of this. Because while I was in, I was I was in I was in a place to where these wars had gotten out of hand. And earlier, I was a big proponent for uh not going to these countries to fight these people and to bomb these people. I was like, they had nothing to do with anything. And so it's like, even though I'm saying we shouldn't be in these wars, I'm still contributing to us fighting in these wars, right? Because I still worked hard and I still did my job very exceptionally well. And these things were still happening. I was still forward deployed to whichever region doing what I was doing, right? Doing America's bidding, even though it was not out of righteousness, right? Doesn't matter how we try to paint it, how we try to slice it and dice it. The truth is that I was ultimately doing the devil's work. Nobody wants to admit that. Everybody wants to say support the troops and everything else, especially when it's you that's in there. But if you want to be all honest, if you look at these wars that we've never belonged in, if you looked at all these people that had nothing to do with nothing because they still die, I was part of that. We were part of that. That's the truth. Whether you want to agree with it or not, that's what the truth is. And so uh, I had a choice, and then I got out. I didn't want to do it no more. Um, but I feel that not really a but. However, I do feel that my time in has given me perspective. My time in gave me an opportunity to see these things on the, I guess you could say, the inside, right? And in a more, I don't know, in, I guess, yeah, a military way, the classified intelligence way, and how just the different fronts in which we were going after people, in which we were doing these nefarious things, right? And so um I understood it and I accepted it. But then when you couple that with what the truth of this world is, it it amplifies what it is you've done and the things that you've seen and the things that you think you already understand. And once you cut away from much of what the world thinks they understand, once you get away from that and you see things how they truly are, it's liberating. It's liberating in that even though it's uncomfortable, or not uncomfortable, that I don't think that's the right word, but even though it's different in that it doesn't go along with what you've been taught your whole life, it then strengthens the resolve that everything that you've been taught, because you hear it from everybody, everything you've been taught is a lie. It just strengthens that resolve. But it hits home a lot more because you were part of the system. You were like boots on the ground for the system. You know best because you were the system. You're like, I was these guys. I was these dudes. I was their weapon. So I know. And what hits even more is if you were that guy that was out there that was doing this thing, that that was out there putting hands on people, breaking down doors, dropping bombs on them, stabbing people, all that crazy stuff. If you understand the true earth and you've done that kind of work, you get it even more. You get it even more. It just sucks that you had to do it. However, there's a saying, right? I didn't coin this phrase or this saying, but every sinner has a future, but every saint has a past. So, despite what it is you've done in the past, you always have, and even though you may appear polished on the other side, you're still changing. The polished people that you see now, that you think they've been that way the whole time, their growth or their I guess you could say their road to where their road that has made them into the person that they are now, you wouldn't believe that that's the road they had to travel. That's how they had to become. Um, a lot of times it's the ones that were the worst that wind up being some of the more exceptional people in your circle, right? If you were to see their past, you wouldn't believe it. They've changed. They've gone from night to day. And these changes, I do feel they're necessary. They're necessary because it's just like understanding and recognizing the flat earth, the true earth, right? You know what it feels like to be part of the globe. You know what it feels like to eat rich food that maybe back then you didn't know was bad for you, but once you see the effects of what rich food does to your body, or in this case, the globe does to your psyche, once you could take an honest step back and start to do things like drink water or to study or to eat r- clean food, right? Wholesome food, listening to people that have been to where you are and allowing you to see for yourself what this world truly is. And you begin to ingest these things into your body, into your psyche. You work them out. You do your own due diligence. You do the legwork. You change. You have no choice but to change. If you're honest about it, you have no choice but to change. However, if you still like the rich food, because now every once in a while you might go back to eating rich food and stuff, but just like when it comes to understanding what the truth is, every time you go back to where you came from, it doesn't feel the same because you know what the truth feels like. You know what clean food feels like. You know what it feels like when it's in your body, when it cleans your system, right? When it cleans your inside, it shows by cleaning your outside. Same way when it comes to your thoughts. When you think clean, you produce clean. It's just a way of the world. It's just a way of the universe, right? When you think clean thoughts, you do clean things. When you eat clean food, you sweat clean excrement, I guess, or you crap clean crap. I don't know. I don't think it's clean crap, but you're more of a wholesome person. It makes you a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, not at all, right? I'm still a work in progress. I still have a lot of things I need to work on, right? But the honest to God truth is that I had to change. And it wasn't an easy progression, but it was the progression, and it was a necessary progression, strictly because I was already there. I was already in the middle of it, and I wanted more. I wanted more of the truth. That's it. I just wanted more of the truth. And if you're truly pursuing the truth, you're gonna do you're gonna go on automatic, and you're gonna look. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna look for the truth. That's it. You don't care how it feels when you look for it. You'll go through the fire for the truth, but at least you know you're in pursuit of righteousness. You're in pursuit of what the truth is. That's it. You could look stupid, you're going to look crazy, all that, right? You're going to look crazy. I get it. Twat Charles. McCunt McChuck Mitch. Okay, Twat Charles. Okay, I, I, I always will. I'll always be black. Mm. I ain't never going to change. Now, right? It's if you're in pursuit of it, you change naturally, right? You come to think different naturally. Now these guys out there in the globe, they do what they do, right? I've learned to just tone it down and let them be them. They will eventually come to what the truth is. I just had to I just had to get away from the toxicity of getting on those guys for being who they are, because maybe this is part of their journey. I know it was probably part of my journey at some point, right? Where I was like, nah, that's BS, that's a lie, that's this, that's that. But once I accepted the truth for what it is, I had no choice but to accept the truth. That's it. I don't. Here's the thing. This is how you know we're on to something. You don't. And for all you globers out there that are listening, this is how you know the flat Earth, the true Earth. We are on to something. Whether you agree or don't agree, we don't go to your channels. We don't come in there and then we put these bots all over the place. We don't mess with your stuff. We don't come up there and do these porn things by messing, like, we don't do that. Or if some of us do, like, the vast majority of us don't have to do that. We have pulled ourselves away from debating you, because there is no point in trying to force you into understanding something. We make our videos. You guys watch our videos and you have time to make fun of them, which it is what it is. But I caution you to tread lightly, strictly because those of you in the globe that associate yourself, line yourself up with these lies and these liars, the Neil deGrasse Tysons, the Bill Nye the Science Guy, NASA, this one, that one, that one, this one. The more you do these things, the more you don't realize that you're putting out to the public that I agree with this lie, and I'm making it public that not only do I agree with this lie, but I'm going to double down and I'm going to attack those that disagree with the lie. You know what I'm saying? So as you as you make your efforts known to the public, and then say you do decide you want to change, say you want to change, but you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm in so deep, the money's so good, I have so many more people on my side that believe my story, I can't afford to change now. That's what you've become. So you in a sense you've become like I was in the military. I hate to have to admit it like that. But I knew what the truth was. I knew that I was contributing to a, like, that's what's crazy is when I joined after 9/11 and I agreed, I was like, yeah, we need to go after these dudes. Then I started to think, and then I was like, wait a minute, man, ain't no way in hell that some planes could bring these things down. It don't make no sense. But here's what's crazy is after you recognize that, wow, I'm part of this evil system and I'm contributing, Like you can't change. Once you see those things that 9/11 is an inside job, that the people that you're partnering with, they caused the USS Liberty. And you have to protect these people. You have to fly around the Eastern Med. You have to be outside of the Mediterranean. And you have to guard these people and keep their home base from being destroyed. The same people that did the Liberty, the same people that did 9/11, the same people that did the Levon affair, the same people that caused us to get inside these wars. You know, I know I'm rambling. I know. It's been a while. It's been a while. So forgive me. Forgive me, forgive me. Um, it's it's it sucks. Now I know the guy that CJ asked me about the military thing, but it's true, man. Once you recognize that you're part of the evil system, that's what the truth is. Can't change it. You can't, well, you can change it, right? You have a choice. But yeah, man, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about it and say that what I did was a righteous thing, was a good thing. It's no. But I've come out wiser on the other side, and I'm just real with what I understand, with the things that I see. There's no reason for me to hide these things from anybody. There's a lot I can't really discuss, but you know, for all you guys that were in the military that might have worked in a certain space, you know what it is I'm talking about. Uh, no, 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 no. Now here's the thing, Mr. Jingles. I gave my time. I did give my time, right? And that was part of it. Is that because I gave my time, and I did what they wanted me to do, I then get my pension because I still gave my time, and I still, yeah, I'm my body. I may look like I'm in tip-top shape, but my body is suffering. You have no idea what I've gone through my body internally, the things I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm not going to give up my pension. Absolutely not, because they got my time. And you should, if somebody's got your time, no, absolutely. You need to get everything that you can get because your time is all you've got at the end of the day. Okay. So I think that was Haiti on a bad line. They just foul the sit in for a point. Mm. So my question is, okay, so I guess people are watching the World Cup, and I'll jump off of it, but people that are watching the World Cup, what is Haiti doing? Who are they playing? Who's Haiti playing? Are they playing the US? Because I know somebody's in here. Well, Mr. Jingles, thank you for your taxes. I don't know. you know, but you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But still, there's something I don't know if you guys know what's been going on as of late. That was a long time I'm sitting there flapping my gums. I don't know if you guys know as of late. Boo Haiti. No, don't boo Haiti. You crazy. you crazy. Lowry, what's going on, man? Lowry's in the foundry. Good to see you. Dan MC, welcome, welcome. Lowry's here too. Good to see you. Carrie Skates, Mr. Skates, what's happening, man? Carrie Skates is good. It's good to see you. Let me see. Giselle Pelletier. Let's see. Dr. Bass, the left-handed guy. Good to see you, sir. Dr. Bass Ackwards is here with us too. Good to see y'all, man. It's always a pleasure. The- okay, J.R. Hartley, who is your team? Oh, the DR didn't make it? What? Man, look, y'all, DR is too busy playing baseball. That's why. Y'all too busy like killing it in baseball. Y'all ain't got time for no soccer. Mike Van Dyke, good to see you, sir. Been a while, but always a pleasure, sir. Oh, they're playing Scotland? Okay. Now, them UK folks, man, they good at soccer. They're good at soccer. They're playing Scotland, okay. Here's your Here's your machete. Yeah. And people out in the UK, most of Europe is soccer. You know what I'm saying? Most of South America, soccer. Africa, worldwide soccer, 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 right? Or football. Everybody's playing football. Everybody's playing football. So everybody's playing it. So the World Cup, I guess, is a big thing around here. Here or out in New York, the big thing, obviously, if you don't know, the Knicks are in the championship. They're beating on the dang San Antonio Spurs, and New York. If they win, it's going to be crazy. So if you in New York or if you're around New York, just expect to have to deal with all the craziness that's out there too. If the Knicks wind up winning tonight, right? So expect traffic to be crazy, expect people to be wilding out, and all that. Now, since we're on the topic of New York, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the latest that I've come across. Now, here is something I want to hold on. Where are we at? There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this to y'all. I'm gonna share this with y'all. Boom, boom, boom. Now, I want y'all to check this out. This is Fox 5 New York. So check it out, y'all. I'm gonna be quiet because I know the noise can kind of mess with people. Check it out now.
Police make a wild discovery underneath a synagogue in Brooklyn. An illegal tunnel found below the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters in Crown Heights. All right, Fox 5's Lisa Evers takes a look at how it was discovered.
The NYPD was called to a location best known as a sacred site for the Chabad Lubavitch Orthodox Jewish sect. Authorities say a group of Jewish men who had a long simmering disagreement burrowed through tunnels under several buildings to break into the synagogue. They got into fights and destroyed fixtures.
The cement truck was here, and these individuals or some of their friends, perhaps, who broke through some of those adjoining properties, disrupted the repairs, and ultimately broke through the wall in the sanctuary and vandalized that wall as well. They've since been arrested.
Repairs have been underway for some time, as had the digging. The disruptor group reportedly stored their tools and equipment several buildings away in an unused mikvah, a large same-sex communal ritual bath space. Sources tell Fox 5 that forensic engineers and inspectors are investigating the structural integrity of surrounding buildings to make sure that they're safe.
This is obviously very distressing for the Lubavitch community and around the world, and Jewish people everywhere. This is a site that's of great importance for Jews all around the world, and we're looking forward to the decorum and sanctity to be restored.
Rabbi Yehuda Krinsky, chairman of the Chabad Lubavitch headquarters, said in a statement, the Chabad Lubavitch community is pained by the vandalism of a group of agitators who damaged the synagogue. The NYPD tells us that 12 men were arrested on a variety of felony and misdemeanor charges. A spokesperson for the Department of Buildings says building inspectors and forensic engineers are on the site and that they've opened an ongoing investigation. In Crown Heights, I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
All right. So I hope y'all got that. Hold on. Let me go ahead. So that right there is a blast from the past. Let me put that there. Boom. Okay. That right there, okay, let me put myself, this thing's freaking driving me wild. So that was, I think, either a year ago or it was a couple of years ago. Right there, obviously, you saw it was Eastern Parkway. That's the Chabad Leibovitch synagogue out there on Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. Now, Lowry, I don't know if you're familiar with that place. It's out there. It's not by you. I think you were out there in Williamsburg, but It's Brooklyn, so you probably drove up and down Eastern Parkway and stuff like that, probably to get to the library and everything else. Um, out there to get to Fort Greene and everything else, a Grand Army Plaza. Now, this was then, right? I don't know if you guys remember that. This is something that I spoke about. I went by there. I took a couple of pictures. If you don't know, let me kind of let you in on how it kind of works in New York. In and around Eastern Parkway and Ocean Avenue and the big ass streets out in New York, right? A lot of that is Jewish owned. A lot of that is. I'm not saying all of it is, but a good bulk of it is Jewish owned. You're going to see the Chabad Lubavitch synagogue over there. Apparently, this synagogue has been around since the 1800, right? And this is something that I used to see all the time. I was like, whatever, it's a synagogue. It's another temple that's there. That's that. Now, if you look also, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, is it coming back to the station? Let's see. So, all right. So with that Chabad Lubavitch, again, that was last year. They said that they brought a cement truck in. I don't know if they were successful in pouring cement in there. Here's the thing. That area, if you were to go to New York right now, you see a lot of Hasidic Jews walking around. They got their black jacket, the hat, the whole nine. You see them. It is what it is, right? Ain't no smoke. They just there. They just there living. That's what they do, right? When you see them out there, all up and down Eastern Parkway, all up and down Eastern Parkway. Now, I've heard that Chabad Lubavitch thing, they brought a cement truck in. I didn't see them pouring no cement in. I went there the next day. After that, I think that was on a Friday, or it was either on a Thursday they got caught, and then I went on a Saturday. Either way, I went on a Saturday, and I think it was either March or May last year, or was there 2 years ago. Either way, I went there. These people they basically have their own police. They have their own ambulatory services. It's crazy because in Brooklyn, New York, these people have a city of their own within the city of Brooklyn or the borough of Brooklyn. Actually, they have a few of them within Brooklyn, believe it or not. But it's wild because they're there. How they run it, like you should have seen during that thing, that whole fiasco where they were getting discovered and stuff. Cops went in there. Them Jews was slapping the shit out them cops. Let that have been some black motherfuckers. They would have lit them dudes up from Kingdom Come. You already know it would have been on, right? But apparently they said 12 guys got arrested. Whatever, dude. Whatever. They probably, they got arrested. It is what it is. Now, I want to bring to your attention this right here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. That's that one. And again, that was last year. I want to show this to you. Okay? Just to kind of get your mind on this. So I asked who runs CBS, all right? Because I've heard that it's a group of people. David Ellison, remember these names. David Ellison, chairman and CEO of Paramount Skydance parent company. George Cheeks, president and CEO of the CBS Entertainment Group. Barry Weiss, that's a woman, by the way. That's a woman, all right? Editor-in-chief, CBS News. Tom Sabrowski. Just remember these names. If you need to go ahead and screenshot this, please go ahead and then do your own due diligence. Check these guys out and see what they've done for the community. Okay. Hold on. Excuse me. Right? Okay. Now that that's out the way, we know that part. Now I'm going to show y'all this right here. This is where it gets crazy. If you don't know, well, you're going to know today. Check it out. And this is from CBS New York. Check it out now.
And there was a startling discovery at a popular Rockland County restaurant. Dozens of young schoolgirls unexpectedly emerged from a drain in the patio after taking an unauthorized trek underground. Naveen Dhaliwal has this story from Nyack.
What started as an ordinary day for Hudson House restaurant owner Matt Hudson in Nyack quickly turned into something he never expected.
I was in the office when we heard kids chattering. Where is that coming from?
What he found was astonishing. Dozens of young girls climbing out of a drain where a creek runs under in a courtyard behind his restaurant.
So sure enough, we came back here and for the patio, looked here, and it was filling up with kids. They were fine, but they were excitedly talking. They were happy to be getting out of here.
According to Mayor Joe Rand, the girls were part of a school trip visiting Nyack Memorial Park when they entered this massive drainage tunnel, which collects much of the village's stormwater runoff.
So they saw the culvert, they saw the cave, and they thought, let's go take a look, see what's there. And they started walking, and they just kept walking.
The mayor says the group traveled roughly half a mile through the dark culvert on rocks and uneven terrain before safely finding the exit at the restaurant.
Everybody was safe, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the first responders. But it was dangerous. They shouldn't have been doing it because it's cloudy now. We could have gotten rain this afternoon, and if it rains, this thing gets much more powerful.
Flooded.
And the water could have really picked up on it.
For Hudson, it's a day he won't forget.
We've been here almost 36 years, as I mentioned, and we thought we saw it all, but no, there's still some surprises here.
The mayor says he'll be reviewing safety measures at this culvert site, and he's reminding residents and visitors that drainage culverts are not for recreational use. In Nyack, Naveen Dhaliwal, CBS News.
All right, CBS, shout out to CBS for putting that together. Just showed you who was in charge of CBS, basically who runs, quote unquote, the show at CBS. Now, that was yesterday's news, or I think actually, excuse me, I think that might have either been today or yesterday's news. This is not last year's news. This is not last year's news. All right, or 2 years ago. This isn't Chabad Lubavitch. This isn't Brooklyn, New York. If you guys want to understand where Nyack is, so you have Brooklyn that's further south, right? Long Island looks like a big giant fish. Brooklyn is like at the head of the fish, further west at the head, and then further north is where Nyack is. Nyack is around the Bronx, right? Further north, off of the fish of New York, still in New York, but it's close enough to the city. And how they make it work, I don't know. I don't know how the hell they make it work. But I wanted to show you that because did you see what they called it? They said dozens of girls, right? So you say dozens, you're like, oh, it might have been 12 because a dozen is how much? A dozen is 12 people, right? Oh, might have been 2 dozen, might have been 3 dozen. That's a lot of that's a lot of people. 3 dozen people, 36 people, 4 dozen, 4. There's no way in hell it could have been 48 people, but I could see 2 dozens. That's still dozens. 3 dozens, 36. That's still dozens. Let me show you something. Where we at? Okay. No, stay there. Boom. Okay. No, there we go. Check this out. Check this out. Shout out to Kim Iverson, right? And her channel. Hopefully I don't get a strike, but whatever. This is Kim Iverson and we're here to learn. Okay, check this out. Listen.
All right, let's start off with this one because it is just too funny to I didn't believe this when I first saw this. I had to actually fact check this. 71 children from an Orthodox Jewish school.
Did you hear that? 71. All right. This isn't 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 4 dozen, 5 dozen. This is 6 dozen freaking kids. Okay. You might as well say 6 dozen. Make it a baker's dozen. Throw an extra one. You got a even flat 6 dozen, 72 people, right? Make it a baker's dozen. Okay. A dozen kids, dozens of kids, a baker's dozens of kids. How about 71 kids? Check it out, y'all.
Were rescued from underground tunnels connected to a sewer system in New York. What is happening? Watch this.
Mayor, can you give us a word?
What's happening? Some young girls, some kids, they in the park. They were in the park. They got into the.
Looks like he's got his handlers behind him, keeping an eye on what it is he needs to say. Right? He's got his people out there. They watching him. But keep going.
Culvert of the creek, and they started exploring, and then they ended up not really knowing where they were, and they got a little alarmed. As far as I know from the police, I just got here a few minutes ago. As far as I know from the police, everybody's been accounted for. Nobody's missing. They're about to get them all on their buses, take them back home. Mayor Joe Rand, Nyack, thank you very much.
Okay. Like, excuse me, what? Hold on a second here. There's a lot of nothing going on here, and then let's fast forward. And then the kids are going to come out. You're going to see the kids here in a second. Here, let me fast forward. Here they are. All these girls. 71 Orthodox Jewish girls.
Man, that's messed up. For anybody that's got girls, anybody that's got kids, anybody that's got daughters, like this is, I really don't even know what to say, what to think. I don't like it. Like I don't even know what to say. Like she's laughing because it just seems strange. But my thing is like, really, like what the hell's going on? Anybody that's a parent, that's like this is just, it just don't look right. It just, for all the things that we've known this country to do, this world, these evil people, and the things that they're capable of, like this just doesn't look right at all. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. Anyway, let's let this lady talk.
I mean, what in the world is going on here? Oh, they just, the story is, they just got lost. They were just in a park, and they were in a park, and they were exploring, and then somehow they found themselves underground in New York sewage tunnels. And this comes on the heels of, we've seen the videos and the images of, the random Orthodox Jew coming out of the tunnel. and then there's that whole, entire compound that was discovered at one point. And then last week, then there's this. Now, they don't say it was Jewish people coming out of that they discovered about a dozen people coming in and out of manholes. But the likely suspects at this point. Watch this.
Good evening. These are two separate incidents, very similar in nature, that happened around the same time, but police say it's not clear if they're related. A large response in Williamsburg. The NYPD K-9 unit, FDNY, and Department of Environmental Protection investigate a sewer at Bedford Avenue and Hayward Street after cameras spotted about 8 men entering the manhole around 1 o'clock Friday morning.
Oh my God.
And reappearing around 3:40 a.m. Neighbors just as curious to find out what was happening. Around 11 o'clock Thursday night, the same thing happened in Gravesend, 8 miles away.
Now they're in Brooklyn. Police looking for people seen crawling inland out of manholes in Brooklyn. I had to try and see if I could read through that. Out of manholes in Brooklyn. So yeah, like this thing is crazy. This is wild. But apparently this is what's going on. I don't even know. And the news be lying. This is WPIX Channel 11 News out of New York. But this is in Brooklyn, right? These dudes are still at it. What I showed you, the first clip I showed you earlier, was from last year or 2 years ago. I forget which. I'm thinking it might have been last year, right? Time is flying crazy. But this was recently, like yesterday, 2 days ago. Let's continue.
Show the people climbing in, climbing out, changing their clothes.
About 7 men climbed into the manhole on McDonald Avenue in Collin Place. They spent 3 hours in the sewer and emerged at 2 a.m.
They get out, they get in a car, they drive away.
See?
Neighbors were alerted when investigators showed up Friday to canvass the area. They were told not to worry.
They climbed in the manholes, they searched, they went up and down the block, and lo and behold, they tell us they dropped their keys. I don't believe anyone dropped keys.
A DEP spokesperson says the sewers have been inspected and the infrastructure is safe. They warn it's not only illegal to enter, it's also dangerous, as sewers can contain numerous hazards, including noxious and potentially deadly gases, unstable surfaces, flooding risks, and confined spaces.
Now, do you think them dudes are going to be interrogated? Do you think them dudes are going to get arrested? Do you think them dudes are going to be tried in a kangaroo court that they've set up themselves? They probably got their own family members that run the show. Really? Do you really think these dudes are going to be held to account for being illegally inside of the sewers?
Council member Suzanne Schwang, who covers Gravesend, agrees it should not be taken lightly and commends the NYPD on their swift response and confirmation everything is safe. But not everyone is convinced all is well.
They just say, no, it's fine. It's not fine.
Let me tell you something, and let me get my ass on this screen. I'm going to tell y'all something. Some of y'all might agree. Some of y'all might not like it at all. But here's what's true. A lot of people that do things like this, those nefarious people, you know who they are, the synagogue of Satan. Anytime they do things like this, you know what they do? They fuck with your head and they say nothing is going on. They pull the Jedi mind trick. They pull the Jedi mind trick on you. They tell you ain't nothing going on, and you know it's bullshit. But just hearing somebody use comforting words like it's okay, that is enough to make you pause in your, it gives them enough time to craft whatever it is they want to do, and then they fuck you over. I'm telling you, these people, it's the same people that say it's okay, we just came out your sewers, everything is fine. The same people that say, hey, it's okay, the earth is a ball, it's fine. It is. You could go look for yourself, and you're so busy looking for this curve, you're not going to see it. It's the same fucking people. It's okay. Hey, look, you don't need your appendix. It's okay. Just get rid of it. You don't need your tonsils. Just get rid of them. Just burn them out. You don't need those. Pinky toe, you don't need those. Get rid of them. Why do you need 2 kidneys? Just give one up. You could function off of 1 kidney. Listen, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be trite. I'm just giving you the facts, the truth. It's the same every time you look at the corner and some shit is going down. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And as soon as you call it out, your wisdom teeth. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot about that. Your wisdom teeth. Dude, it's wild. But it's true. It's the same ones. They're gonna try. They're gonna tell you that it's okay. It's all right. This is normal. We always come out of here. It's fine. But then why is it illegal to be in there? Like, what the fuck are you doing in there? What you doing in there in the first place? It's not fine. But you see, they gave themselves enough time to just vanish, to just get away. They pulled that. The Jedi mind trick. They pull the Jedi mind trick on you. And we believe it. See, here's the thing. Like, I know a lot of y'all don't like Louis Farrakhan. I know a lot of y'all don't like him. But he's been saying this for years. You could go back and look at old video. Like I've been listening to him for a while now. It's just that, and y'all ain't gonna like me saying it, it's just that he's black, and a lot of y'all don't like hearing that shit coming from black people. But it's true. And much of what he said back then is coming to pass now. And he's been trying to put people on game, and nobody wanted to listen to him just because it is what it is. It sucks, but that's what the reality is. He's been trying to tell everybody about this exact thing that the world, not just Americans, but the world has been experiencing. This is nothing new. This is nothing novel to anybody, right? It's just that we're more sensitive to it now. We're wide awake. Everybody's wide awake to it now. But a lot of y'all could ask y'all's parents, and they'll tell you a lot of your parents were on this recognizing this craziness back then, right? Henry Ford made a book. There's a guy named Tony Martin wrote a book called the Jewish Onslaught, right? Back in 1992, 1991. Just gave this book to my nephew. Amazing book, right? And he he basically expressed much of this sentiment, right? That many of us are expressing these days. He said that years ago. But yeah, man, like this is all part of it. I feel that, well, obviously, what's her name? Not Abby Martin, Kim Iverson. She sees it too. She's talking about it too. How they let her in on how they let her say this on YouTube, I have no idea. I don't even know if she's going to be able to monetize that. She probably is, probably has a way. She probably has a rumble, right? Um, but yeah, like and here's the thing, it's not us hating, but that's what the reality is. And I hate to have to combine uh the combine our efforts in the true earth and what everybody else that doesn't even care about the flat earth, what they're seeing and experiencing off of this news, based off of what the synagogue of Satan is doing in them sewers. But when you pair the two, it never hits, it never misses the mark, right? It's the same people that lie to us about the reality of this place, the same people that run these institutions, right? And then it's this is why I say it's so easy to for them to integrate with white people and then trick you, because you wouldn't know, a lot of y'all wouldn't know the difference. And it's, listen, black folks, we're not too far behind, because they've got in they help arrange, I don't know if you know this, but they helped arrange and start the NAACP. It's a bunch of the synagogue of Satan that helped these things. Now, in my mind, they had a nefarious purpose, but you're going to have people out there and say they had a noble purpose as to why they did these things. This is why when you hear people like Bernie Sanders, who's a big time Jew, right? When you hear people like Bernie Sanders come out and say, I marched with Dr. King, you could see I was out there and I even marched with him, right? He was one of those people when he did march with Dr. King. I don't think he had anything benevolent to bestow on them guys marching. I think he was there to observe. I think he was there to watch and to be a spy. I sincerely do. I think this dude's been keeping an eye on black people for a long time. There's a reason why you had that lady come out and say the biggest problem against Israelis and Jews. Now I'm speaking loosely, right? Her name is, I forget her name, but I will find that video and I will give it to you. She's like, the biggest problem for Israelis and Jews is the black community, the black youth, not old black people, young black people. She said they're going to be our biggest obstacle, basically. I'm old. It ain't me she's talking. She ain't worried about me, right? I can tell you right now, she ain't worried about me. But it's the young black kids that they're going to let you know like it is. They're going to tell you the truth whether you want to hear it or not, right? I hope I don't, not just the black kids. I hope all the kids just recognize what the truth is, right? I hope it's all the kids that see the truth. But this is what's going on. Now, I'm not going to claim to know what them girls were doing the in the tunnels, in the sewers. I don't even know if this is true. I don't know if these people are making this stuff happen to kind of push people into feeling a certain way, to jump up and act a particular way. I don't even know what's real anymore. Like, I don't. And especially with the news coming out and making this public to everybody else, it just blows my mind. But what I do know is that there's something just not right to this whole thing, especially when that guy gave his testimony and said they came out of the sewers and said, oh, nothing is going on. These aren't the droids that you think is coming around here. What's that saying that Obi-Wan says to the freaking stormtroopers? These aren't the droids you're looking for. I guess these ain't the droids we're looking for. Let's pack it up, guys. These ain't the droids we're looking for, right? So if you just take a step back, all you need to do with you don't have to agree with me, right? A lot of y'all don't like me, and that's cool, right? All you need to do is just look it up. Just look it up and look at the history for yourself. Just look at the history of things. Look at how things have played. And you don't even have to go that far back. You could go back 2 years, you could go back 3 years. It would do you a service if you went back like 15 years. 15 years and catch up to now, that says a lot about what this country's been experiencing, especially from a grassroots level. What we've been experiencing, the people have been experiencing, and what we've seen from our homes, from our TV screens, computer screens, phone screens, right? And experienced in person. Lord knows what it is you guys have experienced in person. I have no idea. I would love to hear about it. Maybe they took a blood drop from 71 virgins to consecrate the sigil. Linnea Cannon, good to see you, sis. It's been a while. Always a pleasure. Sigil, they got down there, crazy demons. Nothing would surprise. Listen, I don't know. I don't know. That's that's a possibility. Nobody knows. That's a possibility. Could they have done that? I don't know. I don't know. But it's telling because, whether you believe in the Epstein files or don't believe in the Epstein files, something is wrong. There are some things that are wrong. Now, I wanted to show you that Kim Iverson clip because here's what I think. Now, I don't know, and whether you guys agree with me or not, that's fine. I just want you guys to dwell on it, think about it, because I truly think that these tunnels don't stop only in New York. I feel as if that place, that Chabad Lubavitch in Brooklyn, is a node. I feel there are other places that it's connected to. It could be banks, it could be hospitals, it could be nurseries, it could be morgues, it could be the malls, right? It could be other synagogues, obviously, right? All these things, like, this is where this whole tunneling thing, like, and I even spoke to I spoke with Warrior today. Shout out to you, Warrior. Thanks for holding the audience with me. Shout out to him. And I don't get to speak with a lot of y'all all the time, except for guys like Harmon, maybe Maria Walker every once in a while, right? I don't get to speak with y'all often, but when I do, the amount of information that you got from me kind of triggers certain things. What he told me was that, it's just crazy about these tunnels. Now, where he lives in and around the western part of the country, you've got the Grand Canyon and everything else. We're starting to learn, at least I know I'm starting to learn a little bit more about the Grand Canyon and the part that it played in discovering that this country is a lot older than what we think. And it brought me down a rabbit hole, so to speak. And so one of the things I've kind of started to not know, I'm not going to say I know because I really haven't done any research in it, but I've kind of layered within my mind. And then I'm going to do the research and then I'm going to see what I could take away from it, whether it holds water or not. But there are tunnels, or there could very well be tunnels in and around those places in the middle, not the middle, but rather the western parts of this country. I don't know what the hell these Mormon people know. And I know I'm scatterbrained. I seem scatterbrained, but please just bear with me. I don't know what these Mormon people know, but apparently they've seen something, they've experienced something here in the early parts of America. They know a lot. Why? Well, there is I guess you could say, a running joke that you have a lot of Mormons in the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. You have a lot of Mormons. People say, oh, they're easy to manipulate, this and that, to do their bidding. I also think it's because of things that they know from their own lineage. They just know certain things that are true about this country, hell, probably even about this world, to where they become a valuable piece being part of the CIA. You know, I don't want to give Mormons credit. I don't want to give them credit. I feel a lot of them motherfuckers are racist. Hell no, I don't want to give them credit. But if it's true, it's true. If they know things that maybe a lot of us ain't up on, then they just do. And they know secrets that we're just not familiar with. Maybe they just do. And we're just trying to break the. I don't even know. I don't know. It's like I said, it sent me down a rabbit hole of, oh my goodness. So I'm thinking about these Mormons that live in and around the western part of this country, right? I'm also thinking about those tunnels or those caves, excuse me, that they found down there in the Grand Canyon. I'm also thinking about places like the Valley of Fire in Nevada, or Fire Valley, Valley of Fire, something along those lines. The place I visited, right? The place we visited. I think I went there. Yeah, I went there with Mikey and a friend of mine, right? We visited this place. We took pictures, and the place looked like it had been melted. The whole place looked like it'd been destroyed. You go to these rocks, and they've got things that appear that it could have been a building, a like an Empire State Building that was melted down, but it still has remnants of where windows used to be and where doorways used to be. It is a fucking absolute ruin over there, which is now called the Valley of Fire. It's a desert. The place is a desert. It's been destroyed. It looks like a damn desert. I feel that there's a connection there. Um, there's also the story, which I don't know if it holds water. I don't know if it's true or not. But for all you guys that might not be familiar, if you remember the story of Phil Schneider, that's his name. That's his name. Uh, Warrior. Phil Schneider, the contractor that worked for the government, that ended up he went underground with a bunch of Delta Force guys. He went underground, I believe it might have been in Nevada. He went underground, took this elevator thing. He came across a bunch of like weird looking creature type folks. He said he ran into a gray or a reptoid. I forget which exactly. He ran across one of them. They like waved their hand, made this freaking orb. He shot one, and then they shot the orb at him. They like blasted him open, burnt like half his hand off or something like that. He was kind of jacked up after that experience. And then he came back up. How he did, I have no idea, but his story's very well known. Okay, looks like some people know, some people in the chat already know about his story. I feel there very well could be a tunneling. Okay, all that to say, these tunnels connect, right? From East Coast to West Coast. And not just limited to East Coast to West Coast. I think they go far. I think they go from New York to Canada, from Canada probably to Newfoundland, from Newfoundland all the way up to, or all the way to Nova Zembla, Nova Zembla down to Turkey, from Turkey over to Russia. I feel they have these connections. I feel that there is more to just underwater cables than just underwater cables. There's more to these underwater cables than them just being underwater cables. These tunnels connect continents. These tunnels go far and far and far beyond what we think. And this is why the globe is important. This is why mixing your mind up into what the globe they want you to say it is so critical to their keeping you out of thinking that this tunnel network thing is a possibility. How are you going to have this and then you make tunnels happen? How? How is that? It's hard. It's hard to make tunnels work for when they span miles, but you still have them. You have tunnels that we are accessible to here in the States. So you have a tunnel going from Brooklyn to, or rather, not Brooklyn, but Manhattan, excuse me, to New Jersey, right? The Holland Tunnel, the Lincoln Tunnel. You got these tunnels that connect New York to New Jersey, going under the East River, right? But then you have tunnels. Some of you guys might be familiar with the Channel, right? Tunnels that connect France to England. I don't know if you guys know this. You've got a tunnel that connects southern Florida to Haiti. Southern Florida to Haiti. I didn't say Cuba. I said southern Florida to Haiti. This is a project that they said they've been working on for years. We built a tunnel going from southern Florida to Haiti, basically saying, listen, don't be surprised if we already have tunnels connecting the United States going to Africa, the US going to Europe, the US going down to South America, right? A direct link from like listen, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. But really, I would love to believe the official story that it's not possible. I would love to go there. I'd love to swallow that and believe it and then just go to sleep. We're already out. We're already here where everything doesn't make any more sense, right? The truth, based off of what we know now, the truth doesn't, the truth is what works, right? And their lies don't seem to fit with what we're starting to understand that this place isn't. It just doesn't fit. Their lies don't fit no more. So when I say things like this country connected to that country, sure, very well could be. Apparently, we're working. We've already dug a hole from freaking Florida to Haiti. And here's the thing: is Haiti sits lower, right? Parallel wise than Cuba does. Where in Haiti? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's there, apparently. I've never seen it for myself. Um, but this is what the reality is. And so I'm saying all that to say this and this is the rabbit hole that it's taken me to. Listen, and maybe you guys can expound. Maybe you guys see something or know something. This is the only reason I'm saying it. I'm not saying that it's true, but this is the rabbit hole that I've gone down. The Bible. The Bible apparently, um, the Bible apparently is something that many flat earthers have come to discover, or rather rediscover, and we're starting to get a better understanding as to what this world is and isn't at the same time, which is good. But in my eyes, one of the things I'm starting to see with the Bible, or one of the things that I think I'm starting to recognize, is that the Bible is a is it's a maintenance card. It's a recipe card, or not a recipe card, a maintenance card. Now, for all my mechanics in here, lend me your ears. All my people that do maintenance, whether it's on a computer, whether it's on a car, a tractor, whatever, it is a cyclical maintenance card. Why do I say cyclical? Everything is based off of a cycle. Everything is based off of time, right? And so the Bible, again, signs, seasons, days, and years. In Genesis 14, I think it is, where they talk about the sun, the moon, the stars, why they're there, right? And so these people that truly do understand the effects of astronomy, or no, excuse me, not astronomy, astrology, right? And the timing of things, they're the stewards of this world that we live in. They're the ones that understand, or that understand that things have to happen at a certain time. Doesn't matter how you make them happen, but they have to happen at a certain time. This is where that 33 comes in. Every time a 33 comes up, every time they say 33, this is 33, 33. Listen, that's part of the script. That's part of, we just hit a wicket. We're right on time. We're right on schedule. We're good. 33, we hit another milestone. We're right on time. We're right on schedule. We're doing just fine. This is why a lot of your stories, no matter how big they're supposed to be, they never make it to mainstream. They're not supposed to. They're not part of the script. This is why a Candace Owens, Jimmy Dore, all these people that you see on the mainstream news with all the, they look good, they sound good, it sounds credible. The wars, they sound like they mean something. They sound like they work, but they don't work because they don't work when you're up when you're starting to rip this apart. They work for them. They don't work for us because it's not truly what's going on. It's not truly what's happening. But what's truly happening is certain things need certain standards that are standards based off of the time need to be met just because. I don't know what the because is. I don't know what the because is. But the Bible is basically says at this time you need to do this. At that time you need to do this. Now, a lot of us feel, and the reason I'm saying feel, but a lot of us feel that the Bible has missing books. The reason I say feel, it's because this is the story that I was given, just like many of us were given. And of course, the Vatican is in charge and this and that. Do I know that to be fact? Honestly and wholeheartedly, I don't. I don't. Again, I'm going with the story that I was told. I don't know that for a fact. Here's what I know for a fact. This earth doesn't curve based off of the information that they gave us. I know that to be true. And because of that truth alone, I know everything subsequent to that that's connected to this reality that they try to give us, it doesn't work. It's a lie. So based off of that lie right there, I'm like anything that they say after that that's in relation to this earth being a globe is a lie. It's not true. Why is it not true? Because the fundamental lie is just that. It's a lie. So all those other things can't be true because they're in relation to the lie. That's how I know the rest of what they say is bullshit. Everything that they've said is connected to the earth being a globe, so it's bullshit. However, the Bible that we have, they don't have to say it. It's just appearing as such. And so this is why it's so important to get us off of our timing. This is why it's important to keep us from knowing what time it is. You know, Flavor Flav got that big ass clock. Yeah, boy, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. We don't know what time it is. Chicago said it, asked it best. Does anybody know what time it is? We do not. However, we know we don't know what time it is. At least we know we're in a jail. At least we know we're being fucked with. You know what I'm saying? We know we don't know what time it is. But the important thing to get from that is that this cyclical thing, it's recognized. It's recognized that it's cyclical, so much so that the stewards of this place are doing things according to the maintenance card. So it's the people like the Bill Gateses. This is why these people are related, because they're stewards of this place. Whether we wanted them to be stewards or not, how they got hold of this information, I don't know. But they are stewards of this place. That's why the history is so, it's out of sync, it's out of match. This is why whoever figured out that this place was destroyed and then rebuilt, kudos to you, shout out to you for figuring that part out, because I never by myself would have figured that out. At least I don't think I would have. Right? But at least we understand that this place is not at all what it's not what it's been posited to be. Not at all. So when it comes to things like tunnels and this and that and underwater wires that have been here for a long time, that we don't even know what time it is, because we don't have that basic standard of knowing what time it is, nothing is going to work. Nothing else is going to come together, because we don't have a basic understanding of when we are here in this world, in this country alone. Just this country alone. Look at that. You have these people, the Cabbage Patch people, come out we're now learning that there were Cabbage Patch people. And the only reason I'm saying we're now learning that there were Cabbage Patch people, because there were people that knew there were Cabbage Patch people. They didn't think to have to pass information down to us. Hell, they might have been the people put in the crazy house. But something that was prevalent for a long time were people that were put in not nurseries, but in orphanages. This was a big thing. During the time of Annie, this was a big thing. During the time of the Little Rascals, this was a big thing. Orphanages were a big thing. Nowadays, when you talk about an orphan, kids, Generation Z, Generation Y, they don't know what the fuck that is. They don't know what that is. That shit don't make sense to them. But it makes sense to the Gen Xers, the freaking generation before us. Like, that shit makes sense. Orphanages make sense. That was part of our upbringing, seeing an orphanage. Maybe not so much with Gen X, but it's still part of the vernacular, part of our understanding. The people that came before us, the baby boomers, they get it even more. They get it even more. The understanding of an orphanage. This was what reality was. There was an orphanage probably on every other block, right? There was prevalent as a Chinese food store or churches in New York City, right? Every other block, or a bodega even. Now, you got that. Not just the orphanages, but the crazy houses. The crazy houses were something that were on the tail end of when we were coming up as kids. But what was something that you heard all the time? Oh, you belong in a crazy house. Oh, you belong in a crazy house. I bet you this was part of people's vocabulary a lot earlier. You need to go to the crazy house. The only time you're going to put something like that in the vocabulary, is if that's what the reality was at the time. That's it. The crazy house. Nobody says the crazy house as much now. The crazy house, the loony bin, that nobody says the fucking loony bin. Why? Because it's not our reality anymore. It's not us. You know what I'm saying? You tell a millennial the loony bin. They're like, is that like a bin full of like loonies? They don't even know what Looney Tunes are. They don't know Bugs Bunny, the Looney Tunes. They don't know what that is. But words like the crazy house, the loony bin, in the military, I forgot what they call it in the army, section 3. I forgot what they call it, but there's a specific term for guys that are shell shocked or guys that lose it, right? And they have to be admitted to a facility that is akin to the loony bin, right? The crazy house. Over in Washington State, there was one on Joint Base Lewis McChord. On every military installation, for the most part, you have one, right? That a place that accepts people that have like basically gone off the deep end. So like, this is something that you need to be prepared, because it's coming again. So the Bible again serves, some people say it's a warning book, but here's the thing. It's not exclusive to just a specific group of people for the last 100 or so years. It's not exclusive to us. No, I do feel, I'm starting to think that it's tailored in such a way for us to move in a particular direction. It's made, or it's formatted in a way for us to accept it as a people that we are, right? And then move forward like that. And then get pushed into the slaughterhouse, however which way that's going to turn out. But it's there. And here's the thing. And then once they flood this place again, something's going to come out, get rid of the water. He's going to put his face over the waters, and then he's going to get rid of the waters, and then he's going to say, or he's going to put light in this place, and then he's going to get rid of the water, and then he's going to say, all right, now that we've gotten rid of the water, let's start bringing people back. Start throwing some cabbages down here. I don't know how they're going to do it. And let's start making them let's start having them skin some animals and start from the ground up or anything like that. And then every so often we'll throw them a bone. Every so often, we'll throw them a little bit of tech and let's see where they take it. We'll throw them a little bit of technology and let's see how they make it work. How do they make it? You know what I'm saying? So people will, or these beings, whatever the hell they are, they're going to use things like the Bible, drop it in you, show you how to read, show you how to figure some words out, tell you this is what this means, that means, that means, this means, but they're going to let you be the employee. Meanwhile, within the ranks of the employees, they're going to have a manager. Your manager is going to serve as your king, queen, hell, even your lords, right? But then after you have them, you have people that rule over your kings or your queens. Those kings and your managers are not going to tell you about those people that are ruling over you. They could very well be angels or whatever, but it's a hierarchy in place. And those kings and queens, here's the thing, they're not smarter than you. The Bill Gates isn't smarter than you. The what's his name? The guy for Facebook. He ain't smarter than you. It just turns out that this motherfucker is related to one of them Rockefellers or something like that. This is where it's crazy. All these people are related. This is why Elon Musk just turned out to be a trillionaire. He just turned out yesterday, he turns into a trillionaire. But this is the same Elon. His name is in a book that talks about him coming to run Mars or something similar to him. It's not prophetic. It's a form of maintenance. And we're part of that maintenance, right? However, which way we don't have to like it, but if you look at it in that fashion, it makes so much more sense. It makes so much more sense. We're part of this maintenance. So if they feel they need to erase us from this maintenance, that's what they're going to do. However, which way, whether they do it with famine, war, calamity, cataclysm, whatever, that's how they're going to do it. If they need to get rid of a certain group of people yes, that's what they're going to do. And then once they get rid of us, they're going to move a group of people here to take our place. Yeah. And again, with Elon, right? Since I just spoke about him, this is why his name comes up in books like the Mars, Mission to Mars. Not what's that book by Werner von Braun, right? This is why his name appears in there, or it's his name, but it's basically a group. The Elon is like a form of government and a group that have a particular understanding that live up in Mars. It's crazy. It's absolutely wild, but it's not wild if you just look at how the patterns are arranged. If you just look at and see how this thing is set up and arranged. By the way, it's either in the top left because I see it from my top left, but right there, if you haven't done so, please donate to the Old World Ruins and Structures. That is the OWRS, right? OWRS. Donate to that on Cashapp, right? If you get on that, you could donate whatever you want. I really appreciate it. Donate to the OWRS on Cashapp. It's either there or it's there. That's the QR code. Please buzz it. Donate to the OWRS. Now, saying all that to say, however which way we fight it, we have to understand, we have to take a big step back and know that these people that are on the mainstream news, they're being used. They're being used. How they're being used, well, you see it, right? How they're being used, it doesn't make them our enemy in per se, but they're being used. They're being used to basically funnel us in a particular direction. So don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. But understand that this Bible that we read, it's a recipe book. It's a periodicity. It's a periodicity. It's not a period. It is a maintenance book, right? It is a maintenance book. And the reason I make it I compare it to a maintenance book is because it's very much like in the Navy, we had things called the MRC, right? The maintenance requirement card. We would do things called PMS, right? Um, Performance maintenance standards. PMS, you could look it up online. I used to say PMS. You mean, wow, PMS? But it's funny because women get PMS. They get their cycles. In the Navy, you conduct PMS, which is cyclical. I'm not making it up. For all you people that have been in the Navy, are in the Navy, are in the military, you fix shit, you perform maintenance and you go off of a maintenance card. In the Navy, we just happen to call it PMS, right? And it is, and it's this, um, we go by something called the SPMIG, right? Performance Maintenance Index Guide, right? The something performance maintenance index guide. It's been years since I did this maintenance in the Navy, right? But when you go into SPMIG, basically it's a book and it has a bunch of pages as to the effective pages. It's a huge book with a bunch of timings on a bunch of different materials that you're going to conduct maintenance on, and it's all based off of that SPMIG and that PMS book. It's a huge book. For all of you guys that are in the military, in the Navy in particular, you know what I'm talking about. For all you Army or you Marine or you Air Force guys, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You might call it something different, but it functions the same nonetheless. It's the same thing. The Bible is the same. The Bible is not different. Uh, yeah, you want to know something? He doesn't. I'm not talking about the Most High or what the Most High does or how he does it. I'm talking about that book. And hey, Dr. Bass Ackwards, you brought up a really good point. The book can be messed with, and we've already experienced that, have we not? You could get an old Bible from 100 years ago, 200 years ago, read it next to a new contemporary Bible of today. You're going to see a million differences. We've done this on this channel. We've seen it on other channels. And we know we'll see a bunch of differences in the wording and how things are explained. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're always going to toy with the book. But all in all, it's a book on timing. It's a book on maintenance. It is cyclical. It's cycle-based book. And so once we're gone and the generations closest to us, once they're gone and this way of thinking is gone, they're going to repackage that book. They're going to change that book just like they've done already throughout. And anything we hadn't passed down to our kids as a whole will be gone to the wind. It will be gone to the wind. It will be totally forgotten about. And there may be one, maybe two people that remember the words of what we said of our time here that will be critical in how people move forward after we're gone. They'll need it, but they won't have it because the thing is we won't see why it's so necessary. Like I bet there are a lot of people that were, I bet you there were people that survived World War II, World War One, that said, yeah, there were Cabbage Patch Kids. So what? That's the thing. They didn't see why it would be so. They didn't think it would be so important to bring information like this up to the young generation that was around them. Why do they need to talk about Cabbage Patch Kids? Other than somebody made cabbage, hey, let's make Cabbage Patch Kids, let's make money. Maybe they understood the necessity of understanding why Cabbage Patch Kids were so important in the United States. Sure. Maybe they understood, but they weren't out there to give the secrets. And also, maybe this is why you have groups like the Freemasons. And the reason, listen, I was I get this every so often. I was approached by a Freemason recently, right? Because he could see that he was recognizing, I'm not even going to tell you the full story, but he was basically recognizing that I was seeing things and I was saying certain things and he was listening. And he saw me in the parking lot and he was like, "Hey, come here." what made you say what you said here? And I was like, well, I saw this and I saw that. Oh yeah? What were you reading? Because I saw something on your desk. And I told him what I was reading. Not going to get into that. And then he said, huh, okay. Are you a Freemason? Are you a traveling man? And while he was saying that, he shook my hand. And I was like, no, but I'm interested in seeing, not interested in becoming one. That don't misconstrue what it is I'm saying, but I'm interested in seeing how they think, what it is they're looking at, what it is we think they're looking at. Many of us that are interested in seeing what it is that they're looking at. And that's really what it is. It's an interest in seeing what the hell are y'all seeing? What is it that y'all know? Right. And he was like, okay, all right. He shook my hand and he kept it there for a second. Then I was like, no, I'm not. I am not a traveling man. Right. And I'm sure this is, if for all of you that are in and understand, you know what to say at that point. I don't, because I am not a Freemason, never claimed to be one. And he said, okay. Um, and he said what he said afterwards. I'm not even going to get into it. But this is not my first time being propositioned by these people. Another time I was propositioned by these people was at a party, right? Because I saw certain things and I said certain things. Another time was at Davy Crockett's statue out there in Texas. Davy Crockett, David Bowie, I think it was Daniel Bowie, right? And Davy Crockett out there. It's like their monument, right, for the Alamo. And I was like, wow, these guys were Freemasons. And then a guy came to me, shook my hand. He asked me if I was one of them, if I was a traveling man. And I was like, no, I'm not. But me and my family were actually traveling from, I didn't, at that time, I didn't know. But as I've grown, I've come to, anyway, saying all that, saying that to say that there's a good possibility that these Freemasons have a intimate knowledge of what this place is. And the reason they're here and the reason they have their organization structured the way that they have it structured. Like, hey, listen, we call them satanic. Us that are not in the know, we call them satanic. We're not familiar with it. We call them, and I'm not protecting them. I'm not defending what they do. I'm just calling it clear of mind without any biases. I'm just calling it like I see it, right? Perhaps they have seen from afar this stuff go down. They collect and they gather the information. And then they give it to those that are worthy of knowing. Let me tell you why that's important to understand that are worthy of knowing this information. Now, I'm not saying we're not worthy, right, of knowing this information, because at the end of the day, we have a choice to make. And it's all about the choices that you make. That's it, right? We have a choice to make. And so this is why, think about it. Do you think so? I think everybody ought to know that this world is not a ball. I think everybody ought to know. However, let's fuck with these people and let's tell them that it's a ball. Let's see who's going to fucking grow outside of that. Or let's see who's just going to accept the reality that they're given. That's it. End of story. Push play. And then they just sit back and watch. They just sit back and watch. But you're going to have people, unfortunately, that are going to go down and they're going to die believing that this earth is a ball. This is why the fundamental lie is so important to the people that know it's not. But you have people that play for them that are going to keep this lie going because for whatever reason, I don't know. I can speculate all day. But from what I'm seeing, this is how it's playing out. This is how it's playing out. So I feel everybody has their part to play. And we don't have to agree with it. We don't have to, no, I think it's evil. I think it's fucked up that people would do that. This is why when I give people like the news that this earth is not a ball, this, that, the third, and then they call me idiot, this, that, they call me stupid. I used to take it personal, but now I just back off and I'm like, okay, well, they think I'm stupid. There's nothing. All right, it is what it is. Whatever. What am I going to do, right? I'm going to fight this dude? No. Are you worthy of taking another step and knowing what this place isn't? Basically, that's what it's looking like it's boiling down to. Are you worthy of knowing? And the information is being gatekept. It's being gatekept. It's being kept from us. We don't have to like it, but we know that part. But it appears as if those are the steps in how this world is functioning. We're being gatekept from the truth because we're eating the slop based off of, I guess you could say, the spiritual or the level of understanding that we're at. So I guess Hood 3693 evolve. So how do you evolve past that? How do you evolve into what's true? How do you evolve into understanding the truth? How does that work? I'm not claiming to know. I don't know. I don't know. This is why I'm talking about what I feel this could be, because I could be wrong all the way. That's what that I know I could still be wrong. I could still be wrong. I don't fucking know. But based off of the information that we have, I can just give you what I think it could be. And then you take it from there. And I'm not saying that I'm positively right, but based off of the reality that is around us, that is reality, right? Um, where do you take it from here? Based off of the information that I've given you, that more than likely you probably knew, you probably felt this as well, but you didn't say it, you didn't verbalize it. But it resonates with many of you, maybe not all of you, but many of you, it might resonate with you. And so you're like, yes, that's what it is. It resonates because there's a possibility where you've been thinking the same thing, but you just didn't come out and you didn't say it. I'm no smarter than anybody else in here. Trust me, I'm not. I'm not. It's just certain things we verbalize and we just say it, right? And I've just come to what this understanding could be of what this world possibly is, because there are other pieces that I don't even know exist that could be crucial to my understanding of what this place is and what this place isn't, right? But they may come to me when I'm ready. When I'm ready. And how it comes to me, I don't know. I'll never know. Hell, this flat earth thing, it came to me when I was ready. If you would have given it to me any sooner, I wouldn't have been ready. I would have just been like, get that shit out of here. You're stupid. That's stupid. But it came when I was ready. And it came to everybody in here when you were ready to understand it, to accept it for what it is, and then to move forward from there. Same with me. Same here. So, no, saying all that, to say all this, do not take it personal. Don't take it personal when your peers give you hell and they tell you, nah, you're an idiot, this, that, the third. It's okay. It's okay. It's not their time. And it's okay. It's okay, man. It's all right. I'm not saying that we're Freemasons or we're super smart or anything else like that, but in pursuit of the truth, it's just a lot for people to wrestle with. Like this information that I just said might be a lot for us to wrestle with, but I said it because um maybe maybe you guys might have something to add on to what I've already said, to use it and to just make it stronger, to find truth in it, or to find the not fallacies, but to find the faults in it, which I'm open to either, because I'm just looking for the truth. I want to understand this thing a lot better. I gotta understand this thing a lot better. And I think it's fun, right? We're young still. Many of us are, at least. We're still young, even though I like to call myself old. I still have a lot of energy left in this battery, and so I'm going to use it to its fullest. And so I want to better understand where it is that I live, because I don't know it. I fell into the pit. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. We all started from ground zero the same way, basically, right? And we just try to better understand this place. That's all it is. We just want to understand this place better. And in this pursuit, we're going to come across a bunch of landmines. We're going to come across a bunch of pitfalls. We're going to come across the naysayers, everything negative that's going to keep us from what the truth is. It's okay. Like I think it makes the adventure that much more uh, not attainable, but it makes the juice worth the squeeze. Or it makes the juice worth it, basically. It makes it all worth it in the end. And yeah, we're gonna come to those crossroads and everything else. It's okay, because we have to figure out this place, if not for us, at least for our kids. It just makes us better. And I do feel that what's true about this place, what this place truly is, the time that we're truly on, I guess, if you can give this place a time. But what's true about this place, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. This is why it's so hard to get what the truth is, because you're only going to get it if you want it. If you really want the truth, you got to go after it. They're not just going to give it to you. Because what's that saying in the scriptures where they say, casting, like giving good information to people that don't want it or don't deserve it, is like casting pearls to swine. They don't deserve those pearls. They're looking for some stuff that they're like some apple core, some banana peels, some nonsense that they can eat and they can digest, because it goes for pigs. They don't understand the value of what the pearls will bring. Even though maybe the pearls can't do nothing for you. I don't know. But that saying all in itself basically sums it all up. Don't give the truth to people that aren't looking for the truth, that don't want the truth. Stop fighting these globers. Stop fighting these globers. It's not worth it, right? Uh, I know the other day, Vika, shout out to Vika Drazif, Vika and Flat Earth Banjo. I love both channels that I love. I love Vika, love Flat Earth Banjo. I've been taking a step back. I've been doing more observing and listening than I have been interjecting my own thoughts as of late, because I do feel that a lot of times when I put my own thoughts in things, I tend to kind of spoil the pot. So I don't want to do that, because I have a lot of thoughts, right? And I come out with my thoughts a lot, kind of like I did today. But for those that want to listen, it's here for you. For those that don't want to hear it because you think it's shit, it's not here for you. It's not for you. I get it. I'm cool with that, right? But I want to hear their take on these things and see if there's anything I can extract from it and to add on to it, right? Lately, you've had the guy Josh Monday. I think is it Josh Monday or Josh Sunday? Josh Sunday. Josh Monday. Sunday. I don't know. Uh Domenica, lunedì. I don't know. Josh Monday, Josh Sunday, Josh the weekend. I don't know. Sabbath. I don't know. Monday. One of those days for Josh, right? But you had him, and Vika was like, "Oh yeah, brother. Yeah, Josh someday, right? There we go. Right? Josh was on there. Josh Tuesday, Josh Friday, Thursday, Josh January. I don't know. Uh, but he was there talking with that guy Max, and Max was like, you know, to me, you are the nicest flat earther, right? Yeah, and he was just giving it to him, and he was like, perhaps after you come from your trip, then you too will be a glober. Now, what I found telling about his interaction with Max, after Max said that, he didn't object. He just, if you go back to the video, he doesn't object. He doesn't object with Max. He just accepts it. Listen, what if I came to you, Dr. Bass? Okay, not Dr. Bass. Let's say I went to Santero. Santero, I like everybody in the chat. And shout out to you guys that are in the chat. But what if I went to you and said, "Hey, maybe," and say a person, or not even me, let's not even put me in this, but say a person went up to you and said, "Hey, since this is something for gays, right? We're going to get you now that you see this way. We're going to get you now in the gay community." You're just going to sit there and laugh? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, I'm not even going to go there. But you're just going to sit there and laugh? They're going to be like, now that you see these things this way, we're going to get you in as an honorary gay. You're just going to be like, that's funny. That's hilarious. No, you're going to be like, motherfucker, you better not. Most guys would be like, I don't think so. You better not, motherfucker. And that's like, it's just that reaction. It's just for, okay, now I grew up that way. You're gonna be like, bitch, you better not. You do that and we're gonna have fucking problems. Like, it's just gonna come out like that, right? I just think it's funny that when Max approached him like that and said, maybe you too, you can be in secret, you've been a Glober this whole time, and you too can be a Glober on the other side after you come from your trip, right? And it's like, he was just like, yeah, and I'm like, dude, where's the objection? No objection? No objection at all? And I was waiting for an objection. I didn't hear one. Okay, now I'm not here to jump on Josh Monday's case. Not at all. But instead, I'm like, at least if I would have heard an objection, I would have been like, okay, all right, man, maybe he's just doing his trip, right? And he just wants to see. But, everybody else has found other things to make his testimony appear suspect. And I could see where they're coming from with it, but it's the lack of the objection. Now, in his defense, to play devil's advocate, he could say, hey, look, I didn't object because I'm comfortable in knowing that I am a flat earther through and through. So I don't need anybody to tell me that I am or I'm not, or that I'm going to be a Glober, right? But if you, I'm just saying, I'm just comparing, right? That story, if somebody were to say, yeah, we're going to get you to start liking dudes now, be like, no, the fuck you ain't. How the fuck you going to do that? And then other things, you'll be like, man, you better get the fuck up out my face with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all a comparison. But when you object, you object. When you object to shit, you object. It's like the same as if, motherfucker said, you don't like, I know dudes, when I was on the boat, right? You had dudes that hated mushrooms. I mean, hated mushrooms, not just, I just don't want it in my food. No, they had a visceral reaction to mushrooms being around them. They hated mushrooms. Case in point, I had a buddy of mine, right? Smitty. Smitty and me, we were on a ride. And then Smitty was, every morning we'd go for breakfast and then we'd watch together, right? And then one morning, I saw Smitty. I was like, hey, Smitty, I just got off from breakfast. Go ahead, go on down. I'm gonna be up in radio waiting on you. He's like, all right, bet. So Smitty goes down, and Smitty is a talker, right? Smitty's a big talker. I love Smitty. He's awesome. He's amazing, and he makes me laugh. He's a good dude. Smart as hell too. Shout out to Smitty. Smitty goes down. He goes eats in the mess decks. He comes upstairs, or gets up into radio. He sits down, and here's the thing: I have to stand watch or sit watch for 12 hours, right? He's there for half the time. Smitty spoke for like maybe an hour. I was sitting watch with him, and the thing is, I was under instruction, but I was already qualified. But I was under instruction to become a little bit higher in position. Usually Smitty's sitting there giving me the rundown on what to study, what to work on, what to do, and everything else. Smitty didn't talk. Out of those 6 hours, he might have spoken. I said an hour. I'm going to be a little bit more stringent. He might have spoken maybe 10 minutes. For 6 hours, Smitty didn't say nothing. Towards the end of the watch, I was like, hey, yo, Smitty, man, you good, bro? Because you hadn't said nothing most of this watch. You good? Like, did I do something? Do I stink? What happened? He's like, nah, bro, you're not going to believe it. I said, what happened? You good, man? We good? He said, there was a mushroom. There was a piece of a mushroom in my eggs for chow this morning. And I said, a piece of a mushroom. He's like, yeah. And I told you, I fucking hate mushrooms. There was a piece of my mushroom. And so I said nothing. So I was so disgusted, I didn't know how to react after. Smitty was quiet the whole watch, virtually. The whole watch, he was quiet. That was his visceral reaction. He didn't come up there fussing with me. He didn't cuss out. But what he told me was when he saw that, he was scratching and he was rubbing his face and everything else. He threw the whole breakfast away. He didn't eat shit after that. Smith, we called him Smitty for short. And so that's his visceral reaction to something he does not like to eat. He really doesn't like mushrooms like that. Okay, in Haiti, in Haitian culture, probably in some of you guys' food, we like to put a spice called jiwof, right? They're cloves. Everybody knows cloves to smell good, but with that smell, it's powerful. It's a powerful taste. And so if you eat them like plain, it's hard on your palate. So us in the Haitian community, right? We would put jiwof in our food to season as part of our seasoning. You would season it. Every once in a while, you know what jiwof straight tastes like, and so you try to avoid it. So for all you guys that season, you love jiwof. Of course you love jiwof. Santero. I hate jiwof, right? But for every Haitian American person that eats cloves or that doesn't eat clove but has eaten it, you understand the visceral reaction you get to eating cloves that you find and discover in your food. It ruins your appetite. As soon as you bite into food that has a clove in it, you're like, oh, like I'm serious. Ask any Haitian person that eats jiwof or that's eaten jiwof. They will tell you if I find jiwof in my food, it messes with you so much that some people lose their whole appetite after eating a jiwof. Or you could smell it and you're careful with how you eat the food. You're like, yo, I can smell jiwof is here. I could smell it. I know it's in here somewhere. Sometimes you'll eat and then before you bite down, you're like, I found a jiwof. And so you're careful with how you bite your food, that you're kind of milling it around in your mouth before you finally take your big bites and then you start to swallow and ultimately digest your meal. You know what I'm saying? It just makes it scary because you start anyway, saying all that to say that these are visceral reactions and that's how they appear, that's how they feel. So to see Josh Monday not have that visceral reaction with being told that he's going to change into a glober, that makes me have questions. I don't know Josh Monday like that, but apparently Veek does. Um Banjo, Flat Earth Banjo, he does too. So we have a Josh Monday. He comes here and when he says that he's going to have Jaren, he's a Glober now who is also a Satanist. He doesn't believe in the Most High, which, if that's what it is, you know that he is a Globerter, something like that. Banjo. Banjo, yeah, Banjo don't like that shit at all, right? Not trying to start with Banjo or nothing like that, or start with Vika. I'm not starting to. But they had their words about Josh Monday's behavior and his approach to his going to um, Antarctica, not Antarctica, but Punta Arenas, right? Uh, if you don't know, he's going to 53 South and 53 North, negative 53, positive 53, Punta Arenas, and then someplace north. I think he's going to Newfoundland. I forget. But if you look 53 north, the parallel, that's where he's supposed to be going to observe how the sun works. And then he says it's just for questioning. And then Max interjects and says, "Oh, it's because I think you are starting to learn that you are becoming a glober," right? That's what Max says. Uh, Max, I don't think he understands the true Earth model. Not even going to say flat Earth, because just what the Earth is, the model. Um, Seems like he's a smart dude. Seems like he understands whatever his job is. He understands it very well. But if you don't understand the true Earth model, your flat Earth model, if you don't understand the true Earth model, all you know is a flat Earth model. You haven't done your due diligence. There's a difference between your globe Earth model, because we know it so well. We were indoctrinated into it, right? That was our reality for however long. But we see the truth for what it is, and we've changed. And this is why Josh Monday's story seems so fishy. Josh Monday, you're probably watching. Maybe you watching, maybe you not. Um, you probably not watching. I don't know. But if you get this information, this is why everybody finds you to be fishy, because you allow him to come on that platform, say what he says without any rebuttal. One. Two, why do you have to go? How is this? What is this going to? What is the sun's function going to say about the composition of what's underneath your feet? That's the part I need to hear. I didn't hear that either. I need to hear the correlation between the skies and the ground. How what's happening in the sky is giving us what's going on the ground. If you can make that connection and make it work, I'm willing to listen. But if you're not going to be able to make that connection and make it work, I'm still going to listen. I'm definitely not buying it. So I think not just me, because it's not about me, but we need to understand. And we would like to know what your train of thought is in that, right? What are you in pursuit of? If you're going to pursue it to see about this and about that, sure, on your own dime, absolutely. Absolutely. But like, the earth is flat. If you want to learn more about the sun, be like, hey, the sun does this, guys. It's crazy. Cool. Let that be known. I'm just going to see what the sun does. But and then you preface it with or you back it up with, but I know it's already flat. You say that, you don't have Vika saying what he says. And guys, yeah. And guys, when you see him, he's vaping, all these things. And it turns out he's a shield this whole time. Oh, yeah. And then Banjo coming out saying, and it is, he's a flip flopper, just like Dave, just like David, just like Jaren, and just like Witsit, him too. All of these guys, flip floppers. You know what I'm saying? You won't have these guys saying what they're saying. You won't have that. And the reason it's a big deal is because they have a big following. The reason it's a big deal is because they have a big reach. And it's not just on YouTube. Obviously, we know TikTok, Rumble, everything else. They have all these other ways, and Facebook. They have all these other ways to call it out. You know what I'm saying? So David Weiss. David Weiss that he said flip flop. David Weiss, who's defending Witsit and Jaren, Him too. Both, all of them flip floppers. Yep, David Weiss and Jaron. Yep, he said they all of them flip floppers, and then he had them wearing sandals, and he had them all. It was funny, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was pretty clever. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, so yes, he did. Banjo's been on that since the final experiment. That they're all flip floppers, and so yeah, he don't trust them. And it is what it is. I'm not trying to instigate nothing. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? That's just what he believes, and it's cool. Whatever. We in on this channel. I, I, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's interesting what the sky is doing. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had uh been called a shill because I admitted that I don't know what the hell is the sky is doing. A lot of those stars that guy Mikey Smith was looking at, right? I like what they look like, but there's flaws. There are flaws in what they look like, and I brought up Venus, the planet Venus, as an example, as probably one of the best examples. And with the planet Venus being around, right? It is occulted by what? I don't know. I'm not claiming to know, but I was like, okay. And then Mikey Smith had the planet Venus as looking like every other star, and I was like, there's a problem because that is not what Venus looks like. Venus is actually looks like I thought it was the moon, right? And so my thing was, at the end of the day, I was able to admit that I was wrong about what I thought I was seeing, right? Then I was because I didn't take a stance with where other people believe. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I can veritably say, easily say, it is not curving and it is not moving. And then from there, everything is easy. Then from there, we can move forward, right? For this channel and this foundry. Yes. So, with all of that being said, and everything I said, I think you guys get it. I'm a little bit long-winded today. Hey guys, listen. You guys say Vladimir, he's saying this, he's saying that. Hey, listen. I haven't spoken with us in a while, so it's good to kind of cut up with y'all and talk crap with y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's always good. It's always a pleasure, right? And so it's been a while since I've been on my kick. Anyway, as far as the hours, guys, we are 2 grand away. We're 2 grand away. Actually, technically, we're $1,500 away. We are $1,500 away. Oh, Marco, good to see you, bro. Marco, welcome, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. Marco, shout out to you. Big salute. Good to you. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Go see your mom. Yes, go see your mom. Hang out with her. Kick it with your family. Um, Much love, man, and much appreciated. Thank you for coming out. Um, Marco, good to see you, sir. Gio, hey, bro, how's it going, man? Good to see our brother Gio's in the foundry, man. It's been a while, G. Good to see you. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Always a pleasure to see our brother Gio's here too. Geocentric Truth. Good to see you, homie. What else we got? Heron Song. I think I was talking bad about you earlier, sis. I'm just kidding. I was talking bad about, but it's always good to see you. All right. So anyway, we are close, y'all. We're technically like $1,500 away. We're close. Whoo! And right there, whether you see it right here or you see it right here, that is the QR code to the hours. Old World Ruins and Structures. Please, please, please. We are $1,500 away from completing phase 2. Throw some love in there. Anything works. All right. We're $1,500 away. We are close. Throw some love in there. Let's get the hours phase 2 done. We're almost there, y'all. We are almost there. Before June comes to a close, we will have phase 2 done. We will have the hours app phase 2 complete, done, finished, and then we're on to phase 3. We're almost there, family. Show some love. Hit that QR code, Cash App, the hours. It's either there, but to me, it appears right here. Show some love to the hours, Old World Ruins and Structures. We're going to get this app up and running. That thing looks amazing. It looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. And so, everybody, shout out to y'all. Thank you for joining us today. It's rolling into the late afternoon, which is cool because at least you guys have an opportunity to get with your families and everybody else. God Heart Guardian, salute, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, of course, man, always hit that like, all that other good stuff, man. But it's been a while since I got to cut up with the Foundry and everything else. And I got some new stuff for everybody. I got some new stuff that I've been putting together. It's always me and my brainchild putting stuff together. And I definitely want to send it to y'all. Shout out to you guys. Of course, shout out to you guys that donated. I didn't shout you out. Jaybird, much appreciated. Much love, man. Thank you for that. Shout out to you. JJ, of course, shout out to you. Dr. Bowes, shout out to you. Thank you, sir. Roger Ledwell, shout out to you. Thank you, sir. Everybody, man, everybody that's been donating, thank you so much. Roger Ledwell and them, Flat Bob and them, thank you so much. Thank you for donating. Much appreciated. Dan, the man, D-Man, right? D-Man, not Dan the man, my bad, but D-Man, thank you for donating. Chi-Town Cubby, everybody, thank you for donating, man. Much appreciated, much love. That's it right there. Please donate to the Old World Ruins and Structures app. If you need to freeze this and then hit that up, do so. Or if you could go into the description box, you can follow it that way. Show some love to the Hours Old World Ruins Instruction via Cash App. Throw some love. 8 cents, 80 cents, $8, $80, whatever. Anything works. Thank you, family. And then I'm going to let y'all have it. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Please enjoy the rest of the weekend. Go hang out with your family. Go hang out with your kids. Go hang out with your wife, your husband, all that, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, everybody. Enjoy this beautiful day that we're having. Go have a beer. Go smoke a joint. Go do other things, right? Make love. Pump it up. Pump it up. Do all that. Enjoy your weekend. Much love to the Foundry. Much love to everybody else that's going to watch this. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all have it. I'm going to close it out for the night. Again, the hours. Wish you guys nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love. Oh, there it is. Jaybird's coming on here in a bit, y'all. Before I even close out, Jaybird is going live here in a bit. So please make sure you subscribe. Not only subscribe, but go ahead and jump in on Jaybird's and what he has going on tonight. All right. That's his channel right there. So go ahead, show our brother Jaybird some love. Let's get him over 200. If he's not over 200, let's make that happen today. And if you haven't subbed to my channel, please go ahead and sub, like, share, sub, like, share, sub, like, share. And of course, definitely give to the hours, right? We're almost there, $1,500 away, technically. And let's make it happen. Anyway, fam, let's close it out. Wish you guys nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity. Most of all, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Be wise, be safe, and be there. Probably see you guys on Tuesday for Strange World. Who knows? Check it out. Check it out. All them. Josh Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Friday, whatever it is. Mark Sargent and them. Right? DJ Curious. Anyway, I wish you guys the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity. Most of all, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Be wise, be safe. And see you guys the next time. Love you guys. I'm out. Let's get on out of here. Peace, peace, peace.